Welcome to week 17 with the Calvin Dean Show, sponsored by the NFL Network. Happy 2022, people. Happy 2022. And it's week 17 upon us. That's for sure. And I want to wish everyone a happy, prosperous new year. Everyone has those goals, those fitness goals and monetary goals and all that stuff. Fitness, and fitness. It's all about that in the beginning of the year, you know. My friend wants to open a fitness bar, a fitness club. Yeah, club. And the rules and regulations of this club is the first 3 weeks, the club will be, with full of people working out, and after that third week, the club turns into a wine bar. Yeah, a wine bar. So that's an interesting concept. I don't know how far that's going to go, but usually that's the way it goes. Everyone, I got the goal. I'm going to run every day. I'm going to go to the gym every day. And then after 3 weeks, they're back to the same old. That's just the way it goes, right? First your money, then your clothes. Yeah, So let's I have two items I want to talk about before we even go into week 17. Number one, we lost a legend this week in John Madden. He was just, I grew up listening to him, watching him, as a Raider coach, and the guy was he's epic. He's the legend, guys. EA Sports, Madden, football. How big is that? Just how big, to be graced on the cover of that EA Sports Madden football is just, what an honor. What an honor. That's for sure. The guy is just, all my love and condolences to his family. And I just, it was sudden. It was a sudden thing. And what about Dan-Reeves? Dan-Reeves. Wow. Dan-Reeves dies at 77. He was in the Super Bowl 9 times. That's as a coach, player, and all, assistant coach and all that stuff, but 9 times. Wow. What a coaching career. And once again, my prayers go out to his family, condolences to Mr. Reeves. And what a great coach, Coach Reeves. Wow. Denver Broncos. Wow, that's infamous. Infamous. The guy was just like Belichick, Great coach. Great coach. So, it's sad that we lost two legends in the game. But, life must go on, unfortunately, and we'll always remember those two coaches as one of the, the best out there. That's for sure. So let's just get the week 17. All right. I love that stuff. Anyway, we have the first game of the Sunday. And we're going to go over the Philadelphia Eagles. 8-7 Eagles. 8-7. The Washington football team has given up, like I said last week. I knew that the Dallas Cowboys would just trounce them. And I just don't see this game as being even close. Like I said, the Washington football team has given up. Their defense is totally, they've averaged 41.2 41.2 points per game. Points per game. And the last 2 weeks, the Washington football team's given that up. An average of 41 points a game. I would announce that one more time, 41 points a game. Oh, man, I'd be pissed off if I was that coach. Man, now you look at the offense with the Philadelphia Eagles, and they're 13th. The offense of the Washington football team is 20th. The defense of the Philadelphia Eagles, 5th. people. I mean, 5th. Wow. I mean, and they're 8-7. They're, we're in the terrible division last year. I mean, Washington was losing, and they made it into playoffs. Anyway, 28th for the Washington football team. That's overall, but in the last 2 weeks, they're 32nd. Passing is a little bit better than the Philadelphia Eagles, but this is where it counts right now. We have the number 1 rushing offense in the NFL is the Philadelphia Eagles. Number 1. Wow. Number 1, people. The Philadelphia Eagles. And they have the number 14 for the Washington football team. So, the probability of the Eagles, I believe they did a poll, DraftKings poll, and it was 67% of the Eagles and 33% of the Washington football team. I think the census of everyone thinking who's going to win and who's not going to win, I just don't see that the Washington football team, like I told everyone before, they gave up, and they still given up. That's the defense has. So I see the Washington football team losing, and the Philadelphia Eagles beating this game. Philadelphia's going to be 9-7 after this game. Wow, that's interesting, because as that possibly puts them in the playoff position to actually make it into the playoffs. And they're a dangerous team to go into the playoffs because they're number 1 rushing offense. The number 1 rushing offense. That's huge when it comes to playoff time. Huge. So the next game we're going to look at is, did the Ravens disappoint last week? They got COVID. Lamar Jackson still injured. He's not even thinking about coming into this game. I don't think he's going to even play this game. Something's going on there, I think. I think it's more than just an ankle. Because, I don't know. I think it's more than an ankle. I think it's more of like my take on that. I think it's more of a, something's going on, and he's unhappy that they haven't offered him a deal like Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes. So I think he's saying, screw you, try to win without me. And let's see what happens. And they're, I'm sorry. Huntley looks good. He looks good, but he's not Lamar Jackson. And if you want to look at the comparisons on these teams, you have the number 5 offense, which is the Baltimore Ravens, number 5. The only reason why they're number 5 is because of Lamar Jackson, mind you. And, they have slipped because Lamar has been injured, and they've lost the last 4 games. Last 2 games without Lamar. So, and then you have the Los Angeles Rams that they're playing. Los Angeles is going into the Baltimore Stadium. And, the Rams are 7th offense. So the 7th offense going against the 5th ranked offense. So, there you go. You have the Ravens in the lead by 1. And then you have the defense, 16th for the Rams and 25th for the Ravens. The Ravens defense is even worse than that. Look what happened to them in Cincinnati last week. So 1-1 defense 1, and then but you got the passing on the other hand of the Los Angeles Rams at number 6, and then you have the 12th ranked passing for the Baltimore Ravens. Hello, and without Lamar Jackson, it even goes higher. So then you have the rushing on the 24th, but Sony Michel looks good. He's just a banger. He's loving this. And he's dangerous, guys. He's dangerous. It's going to be grind. But it's hard to run against the Baltimore Ravens front 7. That has been proven. They're not going to be able to run against them. They might run. They might. I mean, who knows, but I don't think it will happen. It's like that, and it's like the Tampa Bay Bucks, their front step. Two teams that are very, very good stopping the run are the Baltimore Ravens and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So, rushing-wise, the Baltimore Ravens are 5, and the reason why they're 5 is because Lamar Jackson. Who's going to be out? Lamar Jackson. And the rushing for, like I said, we went over the Los Angeles Rams at 24th when they had DraftKings Sports. DraftKings. They had a probability of winning, and the 69% for the Rams and 31% for the Baltimore Ravens. Well, I can tell you this. Matthew Stafford is a stud. He has always been a stud when it comes to passing. So, I mean, the Baltimore Ravens secondary is just decimated. I don't think the Rams will try. They'll try to run against the Baltimore Ravens, but that won't happen. And I think that, they'll just go to air attack. I don't see the Baltimore Ravens winning this game. I think they're going to lose 5 games in a row, especially without Lamar Jackson. And I'm giving this one to the Los Angeles Rams over the Baltimore Ravens in Baltimore. And Baltimore will be 8-8. They might be out of the playoffs if they lose this game. I hope they prove me wrong. I really like Baltimore, but I don't think they're going to win. We have the next game, which is Tom Brady's 29-6 career record against the New York Jets. They're going into New York Jets. Tom Brady on the road is 14-4 against the Jets. So he's won 14 out of 18 games on the road in Jets Stadium. Jets, they're surprising. They're surprising this year. I called them the winning last week, and they did. Great game for them. And but they're playing a different team. They're playing playing the Tampa Bay Bucks, the Super Bowl champs, who are 11-4. The Bucks want to keep winning because they really want that home field advantage. So the Bucks will win this game. We can look at the stats and stuff like that, but it's kind of silly in a way because you're looking at the number 2 offense in the NFL going against the number 21st offense of the New York Jets. We have the 10th ranked defense of the Bucks. They're even getting better. They were like 22nd, and then they were 16th, and they were like 12th, and now they're in top 10. They're getting better. That's what they did last year on their way to the Super Bowl. The Bucks defense started really doing good, and I think they're getting people back now. Wow, that's going to be if you are going to play the Bucks in the playoffs, wow, that's going to be a tough one because they played better in the when the year goes on. They're number 10th, and like I said, and then the New York Jets are 32nd defense in the NFL. The passing for the Bucks are number 1. They're number 1 in passing. Tom Brady is number 1 in passing. They're talking about Aaron Rodgers taking the MVP award. I don't know. I'm still giving it to the GOAT. And there's a reason why. It's just his stats. I just see him as a better quarterback this year. Now, mind you, I know Aaron Rodgers, blah, blah, blah. But Aaron, when he lied about the COVID thing, immunization, it tarnishes. So if it's between a tie, I'd give it to Brady because Brady didn't come up with all this crap like Aaron Rodgers. Aaron's just for Aaron. He'll always be just for Aaron. And Tom's different. Tom's for the team. He wants to win for the team, not for himself. And that's the difference between those two. And we have the 25th rushing for the Bucks and 26th rushing for the Jets. So in all reality, come on, guys. There's no way I can call this as someone to upset, and it's not going to happen. It's just not going to happen. The Bucks are over the Jets. The next game we have the Dolphins, the Miami Dolphins. Wow, the Miami Dolphins going into the Titans. And the Miami Dolphins are just on this massive winning streak. Miami has only allowed 11.7 points per game, their defense, since week 9. Their defense is just getting better and better and better. And the Titans don't have Henry to pound the ball. The Dolphins' defense is just amazing. I think Tua has been getting, what a rap he had on, even me. I was down on him in the beginning of the year and all over. They should, Deshaun Watson, they would be much better. It's a better quarterback. But no, Tua's been really doing well. He's not like a Josh Allen, wow, type of guy, or Patrick Mahomes, wow, or a Tom Brady or a Aaron Rodgers. No, but he's carrying this team, and they're winning. They're winning dirty, just their defense is just stout, and and the Titans. I'm not a big Titan fan. With Henry, yeah, dangerous with Henry, but they have. People that we have DraftKings people thinking that by 62%, over 38%, they think that Titans are going to win. And I just don't. I don't know. How can you even say something like that? The defense are similar. They're 15th for the Dolphins and 13th for the Titans. The passing attack for the Titans are 25th. That's terrible. And the passing attack for the Dolphins, which is Tua, 15th. Their rushing's only 30th. That's terrible. And their rushing for the Tennessee Titans are 4th. And I can see that's the reason why that these teams are. But you got to figure they're 1-6 in the beginning of the year, right? And now they're 8-7. So 1-7. They're 1-7, guys. It's just their winning streak is a 7-game winning streak. So, that's just incredible. I've never seen that happen. And what a tear they've had. The last time these two meet, the Dolphins beat them 3 years ago, in September 8th, 3 years ago. Beginning of the season, they beat the Titans 27-20. That's the last time they've played. This is going to be in Nissan Stadium in Tennessee, and I just don't see the Titans winning. This is my upset special of the week. Are the Miami Dolphins to beat the Titans? Titans are 10-5. Dolphins are 8-7. I think the Dolphins are going to upset the Titans. That's my upset special of the week. And my next game, we have the New England Patriots hosting the Jacksonville Jags. This game's like a 14-point spread or something like that. Last time I checked, with the Patriots, and the Patriots will beat the Jaguars. I don't even want to go over that game, do we? Do we need to? The Patriots are coming down to earth. They're 9-6. I don't see them losing this game. New England has won the last 7 of 8 games versus the Jacksonville Jags. I think Jacksonville might put a scare in them in this game. I think it'll be tighter than the point spread. But that's just my opinion. But it's definitely the Patriots over them. And then we have the next game. We have the Raiders going into the Indianapolis Colts. I'm a huge Colts believer. I think the Colts are dangerous. Jonathan Taylor. Now, mind you, Carson Wentz is out with COVID. He is not vaccinated. So, unfortunately, it's a 10-game thing. 10 days. 10 days. So, wow, he could miss. I don't know. I don't know I know he's definitely missing this game, but he could miss the final game. I don't know how that goes. Well, I'll just have to check back with you on that one. But he's not gonna be here this one. That makes the Raiders even a better, guardian of their destiny on this one. They are going into the Colts Stadium. Now, both teams, they both have indoor stadiums, which is great for both teams. So you don't have to, especially back east. Woo. Oh, man, it's so cold back there. The road team has won 3 matchups between these teams. The road team usually wins. Oh, man. I mean, no Carson Wentz. But I'm still thinking that the Indianapolis Colts are just going to run through them. It's going to be hard to run through the defense of the Oakland Raiders, but I mean, look what they just, he does start running, and when Jonathan Taylor starts running, he's really good at it. Really good at it. Oh, I just wanted to quick mention the Tampa Bay Bucks. I think Vaughn, the running back of the Tampa Bay Bucks, is going to have a huge game. So I just wanted to, you fantasy football lovers out there. By the way, in fantasy football, I had 56 teams. I'm playing 10 teams. I'm playing for third place, and 14 teams I'm playing for number 1. So in the top 4 out of all my teams, it's 20. Well, I'm playing around 50% over. Around 50%, a little over 50%. So, hats off to myself. Anyway, I just love fantasy football. It's just so much fun, and I picked some good teams this year, and picked some terrible teams. But that's what I love about it. And it keeps me sharp with calling games. You know what I mean? So we're going to call this game. We're going to call the Indianapolis Colts over the Los Angeles. It used to be Los Angeles Raiders, and they were the Oakland Raiders, Los Angeles Raiders, and then back to Oakland, and then now to the Las Vegas. They're going to stay in Las Vegas. I mean, that stadium is just amazing. So I'm giving this one to the Colts. This is going to be my lock. My lock of the week is the Indianapolis Colts over the Las Vegas Raiders. The next game, we have the Cincinnati Bengals. Excuse me. God, did Cincinnati get whomped by Alabama? Wow. And Georgia over Michigan. Ugh. I mean, my Michigan, family. I mean, their hearts are just dropped from just Georgia just dominating that game, and domination of Alabama. That's the whole thing. Does anyone think that Cincinnati really should have been in the top 4? I know they were undefeated, but still, they didn't look like a Division I school. I don't know. They just didn't. I thought maybe Ohio State would have been better. I think a better team, even though, the records, I just don't understand it. I'm having a hard time understanding that. So let's get back to the Cincinnati Bengals hosting the Kansas City Chiefs in Cincinnati. This is going to be a good game. I guess, all the sports writers and everyone calling this is the game of the week, and trust me, Burrows is not going to light it up like he lit it up last week. Lit up against a Baltimore Ravens defense that was all practice squad defense. Come on, they're from the practice squad. They didn't make the team, but they kind of made the team. We needed as if we run out of everyone else. Well, they ran out of everyone else, and they were playing It's like playing against third and fourth string. It's just like, wow. I mean, if you can't throw 500 yards against that decimated backfield of the Baltimore Ravens, I don't know who can. I mean, I think anyone would have been able to. I mean, mind you, I'm not going to take everything away from Joe Burrow. He did have a great game, but man, I just don't. I don't see him doing that to Kansas City Chiefs at all, because that Kansas City Chiefs front seven, their pass rush is just stout, and their backfield defense is a lot better than the Baltimore Ravens, that's for sure. We have the number 3 offense of the Kansas City Chiefs going against the number 12 offense of the Cincinnati Bengals. We have the 21st defense of the Chiefs. They went up. They made it down in the I think it was like 12, but then now they're going back up. And the defense of the Bengals is 17th. And so we have the offense of the passing, Patrick Mahomes, number 2, against the number 8 passing of the, Mr. Burrows, Joe Burrows. Wow. And then we have rushing, 22nd for Mixon the Bengals, Mixon, really. And the rushing for the Kansas City Chiefs, 17th, or even better. A lot of it's Patrick Mahomes, that's for sure. And this game, the Kansas City Chiefs are 11-4. The Cincinnati Bengals are 9-6. Cincinnati's playing for they need to win this game to really hold on to their division lead. The standings on their division, they're 9-6. The Baltimore Ravens are 8-7. Now, if they lost, they go to 9-7. If the Baltimore Ravens win, then they go to 9-7. So, but that doesn't seem like it's going to happen. I think the Baltimore Ravens will lose. They'll be 8-8, and the Bengals, like in this game, I'm calling it for the Kansas City Chiefs. I don't think Kansas City's going to lose to the Bengals in this one. And Cincinnati will still remain 9-7, and they're ahead of their own destiny until week 18. Now, if Cincinnati loses in week 18, and the Baltimore Ravens win, then we have definitely the Bengals would still, their division, they're 4-1, and the Baltimore Ravens are 1-4. So. It's just it's sad about Baltimore. It's very sad. But this game, definitely, I think the Kansas City Chiefs are going to beat the Cincinnati Bengals in Cincinnati. And the Cincinnati Bengals are going to actually meet a secondary that it's going to be tough to throw against. Then we have the Giants going into Chicago Bears. This is an interesting game, 4-11 and against 5-10. Chicago's a sad team this year. Same with the New York Football Giants. I feel sorry for New York. I really do. The last time these teams to meet was like last year, 2020, when the Chicago Bears beat the New York Giants in Chicago at 17-13. Once again, they're in Chicago again. I don't know how that works. Why would that? I just don't understand that. But I'm not the one making up the schedule. So the Giants are going to go into this game, and the Giants and the Chicago Bears rank bottom 5 in points per game this season. So that's kind of sad in a way. We have the number 30th, offense of the Giants against the 26th offense of the Bears, the 23rd defense of the Giants against the 9th ranked defense of the Bears. That's a key stat right there. And the rushing attack for the Bears is key. It's going to be the Bears over the Giants. Montgomery's been doing great. And then Fields is just, a pure runner. I just think that the Giants are going to lose this game and against the Chicago Bears in Chicago. We have the next game. We have the Falcons going into the The Buffalo Bills. Brr, Buffalo Bills. Now, Buffalo leads the NFL with 160 point differential this season, which is huge, plus 163 point differential this season. That's big. It leads the NFL. That's huge. That's huge, especially the way they're going into this game. The Buffalo Bills will beat the Atlanta Falcons in Buffalo, and they'll be 10-6. Hooray for Buffalo. Buffalo's really looking good lately. Really looking good. We have the San Francisco 49ers, Jimmy G-less, Nicky's Niners. Oh, Nicky. Where's Jimmy G? I mean, I get so, they're going to have Trey Lance, and I've never have been a fan. Him and, he's just, I don't know. Every time you see him throw a ball, it's a hard ball. It's like a fastball, but it's very wild, and I don't see him doing. But they're playing the Houston Texans, and they're in San Francisco, so that's huge. I mean, you got a 32nd offense of the Houston Texans going against the 10th offense of the San Francisco 49ers. San Francisco 49ers defense is 4. Defense of Houston. Let's just say Houston is, hear me out. I'm just going down the line. This is the saddest part. This is the reason why they're 4-11. They have the 32nd offense, 30th defense, 30th passing, 32nd running. Oh my God. That's the first time I've ever seen that. They're terrible. I mean, they're just terrible. I'm sorry. They're not going to beat the San Francisco 49ers. 49ers need to win this game to stay in the playoff hunt. So they'll be 9-7 after this game. And we'll continue the Nicky's Niners, the Jimmy G sorrow later on next week. I love Jimmy G. I really do like him. I think he's an underrated quarterback, and man, he's going to be on the the trading blocks. Just think how many teams are going to go after him, because there's not much coming out of college, not much at all. So, and then we have the next game. We have the Denver Broncos going into the Los Angeles Chargers. 7-8 Broncos going into 8-7 Chargers. Last week when I called the Chargers over Houston, COVID hit. Now I usually make my picks on Thursdays, which is really tough because, especially during the COVID era, I mean, and all these COVID people on Friday came, and then Saturday, and the Los Angeles Chargers were minus 13 starters. And I said to myself, oh my God, if I would have known that, there's no way I would have called that game. So unfortunately, I got screwed with COVID through the Baltimore Ravens and the Chargers. If I knew that Baltimore Ravens was going to be out without Huntley, I would have called it the other way around. No way, Johnson. Come on, really? And Johnson's a journeyman, but he's proven that he's not really. He's just, in the NFL, backing up, So it would have been different. But I'm seeing the Chargers winning at home against the Broncos. Broncos defense is tough, guys. Broncos defense is stout. It really is. It's going to be a good game. I think that Justin Herbert will bounce back and have a great game this game. Even though you're playing against a great Denver Bronco defense. I think now the Los Angeles Chargers have allowed 21 plus points in 11 straight games. This ties the longest streak in the team history. They got to get better. They got to get better at defense. And but I don't see the Denver Broncos even scoring that much. They're not that. Their offense isn't that good. It just isn't. So I'm giving the Los Angeles Chargers in this game. The next game I'm looking at is the Carolina Panthers going into the Saints. New Orleans won the last 4 out of 5 games against Carolina. I don't see Cam Newton winning this game. The Saints are too good on defense. I'm giving this to the Saints over the Panthers. We have the Seattle Seahawks hosting the Detroit Lions. The Lions 2-12-1. I guess they're in the lead for the number one pick. Jared Goff will be back. Seattle's 2-8 versus NFL teams this season, tied with the worst conference record in the NFL. I'm giving this as an upset. I think the Detroit Lions are going to beat the Seattle Seahawks. I really do. In Seattle even. I just have that strange feeling. I think the Lions are going to upset the Seahawks in Seattle. We have a really, really important game going on. The next game is the Cardinals going into the Cowboys. Yes, the Lions over the Seattle Seahawks, people. I did say that right. The next game is the Cardinals going up against the Cowboys. This is going to be an interesting game. This is going to be a very interesting game. I mean, everyone's thinking the Cowboys are going to win. And you got the number 8 offense going against the number 1 offense, which is the Cowboys. And the number 8 defense of the Arizona Cardinals going against the number 19th defense. That's the only thing with the Dallas Cowboys. They looked good last week, but you look who they were playing. So, we all knew that was going to be a blowout. So, I'm sorry. They're not like that. Not against a team like the Arizona Cardinals. So, the passing attack for the Cardinals is 10th. Number 3 for Dak. Number 6th rushing offense for the Cowboys. Number 10th rushing for the Cardinals. They don't have D-Hop. That's a huge thing. Kirk is going to have a huge game. Kirk is going to be a huge, huge, huge game. And I just, this is a tough game to call. The way, Dallas has been playing lately, they've been playing out of their minds. They really have. And then the Cardinals have been on a losing streak. I think the Cardinals are going to bounce back in this game. I'm giving this one to the Cardinals. The Cardinals over the Dallas Cowboys in Dallas. And I really do think the Cardinals are going to bounce back on this game. We have the Minnesota Vikings going into the Green Bay Packers. Green Bay Packers have allowed 33.4 points per game since Week 11. They've been scoring 33.4 points per game since Week 11. It's Week 17. So, I mean, virtually, it's the most in the NFL. I think the Vikings are going to keep it really close in this game. This was the Sunday night game, and I'm giving this to the Green Bay Packers at home against the Minnesota Vikings. But mind you, it's going to be a close game. It's not going to be a blowout game. Definitely the Vikings, the Kirk Cousins are going to try to keep it close. But they'll be out of the playoffs after this one. I think they're out of playoffs now, to be honest. The next game is the Monday night game. It's the farewell hurrah of Wiedersehen. Ben Roethlisberger. I shouldn't start singing right at the end of the show. I mean, really, that's just... Anyway. So, the Steelers are hosting the Cleveland Browns. It's going to be the last game for the Steelers and Ben Roethlisberger. He will be retiring after this game, after this season. Excuse me. This is the last game in Pittsburgh for him. It's been a good run for him. He what a great quarterback. And he'll be going to the Hall of Fame. He just took too many hits. He would just stand in the back and just sit there and just get pounded. But he would wait until the last second and throw that ball. But now, when he waits to the last second to throw that ball, his balls aren't as strong. His arm's not as strong as it used to be. He used to rifle it. I mean, really great. He was like Aaron Rodgers. He was. He had a great release. Really, he really when he was Antonio Brown and when he was around. I mean, that was like a light show, man. That was just great. The Cleveland Browns are limping into Pittsburgh. And, I mean, Cleveland's 7-8. And this is a tough one. You know, I want to think, hey, the Cleveland Browns, you know, the Pittsburgh Steelers are going to rally behind Ben Roethlisberger, and they're going to win. And you have the number 3 rushing attack for the Browns, the number 7th defense for the Browns, 27th passing, which is terrible, Baker Mayfield. Offense is ranked number 16th. Only reason why they're 16th is because of their running game. The defense for the Pittsburgh Steelers is not like it used to be. It's 26th. Their passing is 14th, which is adequate. So, you know, their running is 29th. They can't run. So Najee Harris, I mean, I had him on one of my fantasy football teams. And, I mean, he averages, 10, 12, but he gives the ball, they're giving the ball, 100 times a game? I mean, the guy can't run. He doesn't see there's no holes to run to or through. So, you know, and Ben, you know, I would love to see a swan song. Ben Roethlisberger goes out and wins big, has the greatest game of his life in Pittsburgh. You know, that would be a great ending, right? It would be a great ending for him. That's not going to happen. Sorry, guys. I mean, it gets to a point where there's sort of like when Peyton Manning won the last game and won the Super Bowl. I mean, his arm was not like Peyton Manning's arm, you know, and they won, but, you know, because of courage, but it was the team that helped him win, you know, the whole team. And Pittsburgh doesn't have a whole team. I mean, 26th defense, 22nd ranked offense. Rushing is 29th. Even with Najee Harris, 29th. So, no. Last game of Ben, he will lose, unfortunately. Cleveland Browns over the Pittsburgh Steelers in Pittsburgh. I'm sorry, Ben. You will lose. So, let's just go over it quickly. We will go over it really quickly. My picks. I have the Eagles over the Washington football team. I have the Rams beating the Baltimore Ravens in Baltimore. They'll have another loss in a row for them. We have the Buccaneers over the Jets. We have the Dolphins upsetting the Titans. We have the Patriots beating the Jacksonville Jags. We have my lock of the week, the Indianapolis Colts against the Las Vegas Raiders. And then we have the Kansas City Chiefs beating the Bengals in Cincinnati. We have the Bears beating up on the Giants. We have the Bills over the Falcons. The 49ers, Nicky's Niners, over the Houston Texans in San Francisco. At home, SoFi Stadium, the Chargers will beat the Denver Broncos. We have the Saints over the Panthers. We have an upset of the Lions over the Seahawks. We have one of the most important games of the day is the Cardinals and the Cowboys, and that's a toss-up game. I really think that I just want to call the Cardinals. I'm sorry. Got to call the Cardinals. I don't know. Well, I just have that feeling that Kyler Murray's going to light it up. Sorry, people. I just have that feeling. And we have the Packers over the Vikings. Vikings will keep it close. And that's at Sunday Night Football. And last but not least, Monday night, the last hurrah for the Steelers. Ben Roethlisberger, he will lose. Okay, people, thank you so much for tuning in to the Calvin Dean Show. And we will have a new segment in our show next year. And that segment will be Exposed. It's going to be a fun one. So why don't you guys go to my website, thecalvindeanshow.com, under contact me, click on that, give me your name, your email, and all that good stuff, and give me a great take on the next week, that week 18, and tell me what you want me to feature, and I'll do that. And the person who has the best take will get his own hat. Yes, his own team hat, coming right from the NFLshop.com. And it's an official NFL hat that you'll get. You're going to have to give me your sizes and all that stuff, and I'll mail it out to you. Okay? Once again, this is the CalvinDeanShow.com. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'll see you week 18.